blue as the Mediterranean Sea, as green as the English countryside, with cleaving mountains and Scottish towns. But this is a southern isle, beneath the Antipodean sun. Melbourne, mainland neighbour to the island state of Tasmania, is the crossroad of Australian travel. Here the routes of the travellers intersect on their journeys north and south or east and west. Southward lies the sea road to Tasmania, a drive-on, drive-off ferry journey for tourists and their cars aboard the Princess of Tasmania. Gleaming in the late afternoon sun, the Princess glides out of Melbourne into her swift overnight crossing of Bass Strait. Passenger life is busy and gay and generally has a cosmopolitan note as visitors from across the world journey to the island state. There's opportunity to make acquaintances or view the sunrise on a new day as morning stirs the ship to life with a sense of pending discovery. The entrance to Devonport is guarded by a red-striped sentinel on constant sentry go at Mersey Bluff, as majestically the Princess comes home. A trade of fishing boats crowds the Mersey River, welcoming you to Devonport, gateway to Tasmania's northwest coast. From this quiet and businesslike town, the tours spread out along the Bass Highway. Westward to the Nut, towering in rugged grandeur above the fishing village of Stanley. Nearby, Wynyard is a haven for boats returning home from the fishing grounds. Transport follows the sea along this scenic coast. Off the highways, where the roads slip down to the semi-secret coves, there's the thrill of unexpected discovery. Hamlets hugging the sea, and beaches as Australians know them, broad, white, and surf-buffeted. Variety spices this life by the beach, and each has his choice, the adventurous surf or the quieter sport of the pools, which also have their attractions, for Tasmania is variously beautiful. Now eastward by the Sapphire Sea through Burnie. Past a dozen prosperous towns like Ulverston on the Leven River, onto the wider horizons of the Run Country, where great herds of beef cattle are fattened, and farming is a lusty drover's life. In the folds of the Western Tiers, the coastlands expire, and Mount Roland beckons the venturesome up to the great central plateau, honeycombed with lakes and mountains. Mount Ossa, a mile high, and Tasmania's tallest mountain. At the southern end of the plateau, Mount Field National Park draws the skiing enthusiasts from across Australia. They come on roads that penetrate to the heart of the snow country, glittering on the horizon. To Lake Dobson, and above, the golden stairs now whitened. From here, many visitors begin the popular tours on skis, which take them in easy stages across the alpine roof, where the crunch of snow is the only sound in centuries of silence, and tall, timeless cliffs that thrust at the sky give the adventurer a sense of the haunting grandeur of the Tasmanian mountains. A last leap and the skiers come down to the seclusion of their cabins among the snow gums. From the mountain watersheds, roaring cascades feed Tasmania's network of hydroelectric power stations, Tarraleah, Tungatina, Waiatina, and other enchanting native names echoing the sound of the falling waters. Down the northern slopes of the plateau, mountain highways descend to one of the oldest settled regions of northern Tasmania, planted with English trees and crisscrossed by hedgerows. At Hadspin stands Entelli National House, preserved as a colonial mansion from the 1820s, where history itself has hibernated to ghost the present with glimpses of a bygone age. For the visitor here, time trips nostalgically backwards to the handsome days when affluence was a coach and four. Its gardens still are a glory to the gaze, with old world blossoms and a scent of lavender. Many are the old country homes still prospering in this gentle region, but here in the heart of the rural north, Longford offers something different for the visitor. Mixed with the smell of petrol and the scream of exhausts is the drama of motor racing. The Longford Circuit is the Le Mans of Australian road racing and among the best circuits in the Southern Hemisphere. It's a track full of thrills and the eye-filling spectacle of screeching speed through a rural countryside. Through Longford itself, the speedsters race on a circuit reminiscent of famous ones in Europe. As the noise of motor racing sinks away into the silence surrounding Longford, the South Esk River flows quietly on to the serene setting of the Cataract Gorge at the entrance to Launceston. Launceston, Queen City of the North, like all Tasmania's main centres, is beside the water. Its bridges span the Esk and Tamar rivers and its parks edge the shore. Here in the heart of this garden city, there's just a soft sibilance of traffic noise and a tracery of the past in its old world architecture. Each year, Launceston rings the changes, and its quiet streets echo to the gay sounds of fiesta. Prince Carnival's procession touches off a string of entertainments for the visitor. It's a vivid memory which the tourist leaves behind him regretfully, but much more of Tasmania is waiting, luring the visitor on through the northeast, where the mountains rise again. Further on wait St Helens and Binnelong Bay, our introduction to the golden sweep of beaches along the east coast. Sea and sand contrive a splendid setting in which to shake free from the workaday world. Gaiety and charm are the keynote of this holiday coast. It's a coast of historic interest too. For Dutch explorer Abel Tasman, who discovered Tasmania in 1642, sailed away to the east from these shores. Climbing through Elephant Pass, the road perches above a panorama of coast and bushland and the ever-running sea. Southward to Bicheno, a seaside resort that blossoms with luxury for the traveller. For here, against a background of untrammeled beauty, are all the holiday comforts. So mmany horizons and so much to see. The colourful mountains of Freycinet National Park stalk like giants to the sea, guarding, it seems, the chalets at Coles Bay, where holidaymakers break their journey seeking the summer delight of long, tingling days in the sun. Beauty points to new adventure as speedboats weave patterns of foam-flecked speed through the sparkling sea. A time of thrills, and then the contrast Tasmania weaves so well, of empty bays, of peace and beauty, and scenes as timeless as the sea itself. After 100 miles of coastal grandeur, the road strikes inland to Buckland, where history is hewn in stone. Its church is a century old and was once the most English-looking in the southern hemisphere. The famous east window is said to have come from Battle Abbey, built by William the Conqueror. Past Pirates Bay, the natural steps of the traveller are towards Tasman Peninsula and the old penal colony of Port Arthur, where stand the mellowed remains of a graphic chapter in Tasmania's history. For the visitor, it's a glimpse of the time-draped past, the harsher memories softened now under a spectral beauty. A kindlier age has left the buildings a crumbling symbol of the past. Their empty windows now look down on holidaymakers and the fishermen who go out from the little coastal ports. During the scallop season, the fleets assemble off the east coast and in the sheltered waters of D'Entrecasteaux Channel. Dredgers scoop up the succulent harvest of shellfish, wealth hard won from the sea. Once eaten by the primitive Aborigine, the Tasmanian scallop is prized as a delicacy among seafoods. Heavily laden, the boats nose back towards port. Cradled in the distant hills is the Huon Valley, famous for its crisp, juicy apples. In spring, when the blossom breaks, the valley for miles is misted in a perfection of pink and white bloom. It's the faint, fragrant omen of another bountiful crop, which will be shipped halfway round the world, to London and Stockholm, to Glasgow and Amsterdam. Flitting like orchard bees, aircraft drone across the Huon Valley on their way to the dramatic spectacle of southwestern Tasmania. Fierce, fretted mountains and lakes of impregnable beauty lie here, untouched by time or human history. Many visitors make the flight into the southwest across a landscape of primeval splendor to Lake Pedder. An ancient glacier carved the expansive beach, and the touchdown conjures up the vision of a space landing beneath the mountains of the moon. The most hardened traveller steps out into a new experience of nature's impressive art, surrounded by mountain ranges and unnamed peaks. Summer by long summer, the bushwalkers return, flown into the southwest to tramp its lonely trails, taking the secret satisfactions of the adventurer. To the north of Lake Pedder, the West Coast Road curves across the mountain roof of Tasmania to Queenstown. Queenstown is another world of copper mining and smelting, whose industry has painted the very landscape. Its mineral concentrates are hauled across a rack railway, where the engines must use a cogwheel to struggle up the 1 in 16 grade. It's the curious Abt Railway, and on its desperately steep journey to the coast, it winds through some of the wildest scenery in the world. The King River Gorge is typical of nature's savage confusion. After the rail trip, the mine products go by sea out of Macquarie Harbour. Here begins one of the most spectacular cruises available to the tourist, up the Gordon River to an enchanting wilderness of virgin rainforest. Beyond the tangle of forests, the Gordon has its source near that of another mighty river, the Derwent, which flows southward through the picturesque Derwent Valley. A tourist ferry sails into the old world tranquility of New Norfolk. Along the river banks are the hop fields, the greatest in Australia, where holidaymakers converge each summer for the picking season. Amid pleasant surroundings, the camaraderie of the harvest is the reward for those who return each year to this ancient industry. Downstream go barges laden with newsprint for the markets of the world. Sturdy tugs haul the loads of paper to the capital city of Hobart. Set in the most beautiful harbour, Hobart extends a cordial welcome to the big overseas tourist liners and to the brave little ships returning to civilization from the far distant Antarctic continent. For the polar scientists, the hospitality of the Tasmanian people is a treasured memory. Fishing boats tie up almost in the heart of this enchanting capital city. It's a city with rustic peace at its heart and time to relax in the sun. For Hobart has a philosophy of life that avoids the madcap bustle of bigger cities. Never far from river or sea, Tasmanians delight in the wild freedom of water sports. Mount Wellington, towering above the city, older in time than the Andes or Pyrenees, is an imperative attraction for visitors. From the pinnacle, more than 4,000 feet up, Gulliver might see a new world. The distant hills echo to the whine of jet airliners, linking Hobart Airport with the airways of the world. For the international traveller, it's a magic carpet au revoir from a land of friendly people, velvet beaches and alpine spectacle, this southern isle of holiday adventure.